What's up, the boxing world? Welcome to Strictly Boxing with Derek Poppy Rolon. Okay, man, we got a good fight this weekend coming up, man. I want to talk about this up and coming superstar event, man, with David Morrell versus David Benevidez, man, at the T-Mobile Arena out in Las Vegas, Nevada on February 1st. But before I touch bases about that, man, I want to let you guys know about a fight coming up that we're doing with the City of Elizabeth. Elizabeth Recreation Department is sponsoring another amateur event that we're doing at the Erxleben Recreational Center on February 15th. Get your fighters a fight, man, before the Golden Gloves come up. Golden Gloves starting in March. Get some rushed off, get some experience, man. Get on my fight card, man. February 15th in Elizabeth Recreational Center. It's on Match My Boxers to get you guys matched up. Weigh-ins between 12 and 2. And the first match starting at 3 o'clock. We're looking to start on time. This is free for the community, for everybody. Everybody come out, man, wherever your fighters come from. If you come from Atlantic City, I got teams from Atlantic City. I got teams from Philadelphia, teams from Staten Island, all over New Jersey, different places, man. So, listen, come on out, man. Enjoy some fights, man. February 15th at the Erxleben Recreational Center. First fight starts at 3 o'clock. Address is 513 Richmond Street, Elizabeth, New Jersey. Sponsored by the City of Elizabeth Recreation Department. All right, listen, man. What I want to talk about, man, is the big fight this weekend, February 1st, between David Morrell versus David Benevidez. This is one of those fights, man, that it's like the best versus the best, man. I mean, a lot of people is taking Morrell that I'm hearing, says he's a good, strong, hard puncher. He's a Cuban fighter, so a lot of times the Cuban fighters get a lot of rep because of their long, big amateur career. David Morrell, professionally, he's 11-0 with 9 KOs. He's a southpaw out of Cuba, 27 years old, and he's a WBA light heavyweight champion. So he got stats, but sometimes with me, I'm looking at he only got 11-0 fights. A lot of people think, 11-0 for a Cuban fighter is a whole lot of fights because they get such a big amateur career, hundreds of fights in the amateurs. So we don't know how many fights he has in the amateur. The amateur record only shows the international bouts where he has 48 victories with 5 defeats as an amateur. Only recorded, but a lot of those fights we don't get to see because they only record the national fights and stuff. Same thing in the United States. They only record the national fights as the amateur record. So, David Morrell going up against David Benevidez. David Benevidez, 28 years old, 29-0 with 24 KOs. He's an orthodox fighter, okay? He's to me, he's a former super middleweight champion, 2-time super middleweight champion. He's proven to be a good fighter, man. I gotta take it from him. I gotta give him big props, man, because he's already the mandatory for Canelo Alvarez, and instead of waiting around for Canelo to take the fight or keep pressuring the fight, he decides to get head on, forget about the big money fight with Canelo, and take another tough fight with David Morrell. That alone, to me, shows a lot of good character and a good heart for a fighter, man. He got something more than just some fighter in here looking to make a big payday, because he could sit around, keep putting pressure on the sanctioning, and he's the mandatory. So sooner or later, Canelo got to fight him, but he's not later with that. I'm going to take another fight. And I'm not going to take a bum fight just to get a tune. I'm going to fight somebody else that's the champion right now. And I think that alone is what I think boxing is about, man. When the heart of a fighter, heart of a champion is involved, that's what it is. And one of the things with David Morrell, you look at his fights and you can say, oh, well, he ain't fought nobody, but I checked his box rec, man, and he has fought guys with winning records. You know, I mean, his first couple of fights, he probably had a couple, just to get him used to the professionals. But he fought some guys, with one loss, two losses. He fought a couple undefeated fighters coming up. And so, although he only got 11 fights, he haven't been fighting guys with, the 0-8 and 0-9 records like some guys be patting their records. So, David Morrell is proving that he's a real fighter. He's fighting some undefeated fighters, and he's the world champion. This is going to be a big fight, man. Las Vegas, Nevada, February 1st, man. Who you got, man? Who you think? Why do you think David Morrell can beat David Benevidez? Or why do you think he can't beat him? I mean, experience has a lot to me. Experience, is 29 fights with 24 knockouts. And I'm going up against a guy who's 11-0 with 9 knockouts, okay? They both in their prime, though. They both in their prime. One is 27. David Morrell is 27 years old. David Benevidez is 28. This is a rare occasion that we get to see two prime, top-class fighters fighting in their prime. You know what I mean? Nobody's way older and nobody's way younger, up and coming. We're out with the old line and with the new line. This is not that type of fight. This fight is two fighters in their prime, both undefeated, and both deciding to say, let's get it on for my title. Oh, I like this right here. I like this a lot. David Benevidez versus David Morrell, February 1st in Las Vegas. This is going to be a good thing. Check out the fight this Saturday night. I don't want to make a prediction. One is like, they're only like an inch apart. To me, I think it's going to come down to can David Benevidez take David Morrell's punch? They say Morrell is a big puncher. And, he got 9 knockouts out of 11 fights. And David Benevidez, I haven't really seen him get hit with no big punches yet, man. But that's a good thing he hasn't gotten hit. He's a good boxer, got the long jab, he sets you up. He's a boxer. Can David Morrell beat David Benevidez? I wouldn't bet on it, but it's a 50-50 fight. It's a real 50-50 fight. A lot of people taking David Morrell. This is Derek Pop Roller. That's Strictly Boxing. Let me know what you think, man. Do you think David Morrell has enough to beat David Benevidez? David Benevidez might just got too much experience, too much ring knowledge, and he's just a more rounded fighter than David Morrell, who probably is just a person that got a good punch and likes to fight, and let's bring it. Let me know, man. Let me know what you do, man. Let me know what you think, man. Comment on it, man. If you like the channel, hit the thumbs up, man. I appreciate it, man. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Strictly Boxing, man. Appreciate it. If you got something to say, that's what I really want to hear, man. What you got to say? Who do you got? David Morrell versus David Benevidez. Who do you think? This is Dark Pop rolling at Strictly Boxing. Peace.